Hi, I am Claire. Welcome back to my channel. For this week's video, I am doing a house with a special room inside. So this might sound a little bit weird, but my dad gave me this idea to do a house with a game room in it, and so I decided to make a house in Del Sol Valley, which is based off of like California, and like Los Angeles. And I know in that area there's a lot of houses that have like converted garages into like another bedroom, or in my case a game room, and so that is where the inspiration for this video came from. But first we are just starting off in the living room. This living room can have 10 Sims sit on it, I'm pretty sure. You saw me went around and count all of the chairs, and so I did also want to use this coffee table from the Parenthood pack because I always want to use it, but it's just too big, and I realistically, if I have it in like a smaller house, it's like your knees are gonna be like right up against it, and so I finally had an opportunity to use my oversized coffee table. And so we are just now working on the front entrance of the house. So when we first walk in, you kind of walk into this like art gallery wall, which I thought was kind of fun. This house is a lot bigger than I prefer to do, but all of the lots in Del Sol Valley, as you probably know, they're all super big, like 40, 30, 50, 40 type lot size, not really any small lot sizes in this world. And if I did want to do a small lot or a small house on a big lot, I probably would have to restrict myself and do one of those like 100 tile homes. And so you just saw me put down a cat tree. I do have a cat and a dog, or space for a cat and a dog in this house. I wanted to do like an opposite twin type room, and so I kind of thought it would be fun to also have like opposite pets with to go with the twins. And so now we are just going to be going into like we're still in the main area of the house, but we are working on this dining room space, and I wasn't exactly sure what to put in this area just because it's so big. I kind of thought like the dining room would be in the kitchen, but this house is so big, there's actually two dining rooms in this house. So one when you immediately first walk into the house, and then another one in the kitchen area, along with an island that has seating with it. So this has very much a party house if your Sims like hosting parties for whatever reason. And so now we are just going to be trying to find a little table decoration to go on the dining room table, and I end up going with this one from Eco Lifestyle. I wasn't trying to use that many packs, but I kind of backfired on me, and so now we are just adding a living wall because I'm like, oh, I added one thing from Eco Lifestyle, so now I need to add two things from Eco Lifestyle. And so now we are in the kitchen area of the house, and so I decided to make this kitchen very large. It's in a V shape of the kitchen, and so here is that island with the extra seating, and we're just going to be adding this fridge. I put this fridge in this spot because it's like right next to the garage door, and so realistically I was thinking like, oh, you would want your fridge to be right next to the garage door, so it's like easier to put away the grocery items, but not realizing that, oh yeah, this garage is actually like a game room, not actually a garage, and so that kind of backfires. I do kind of forget about that in a moment again. I put the backpacks right next to the door because I'm like, oh, the kids need to drive to school. Let's put it by the garage, but it's a game room. Cars don't exist in The Sims, and so that's why it was kind of perfect to make the garage like an extra game room of the house. And so we are just going to be adding some decorations into the kitchen. You can still have a lot of Sims cook here. I did want to make it seem like a little bit lived in and not like, oh wow, look at all this empty space. And so we are just going to be adding a large rug into this kitchen. I do usually just add like a small rug next to the sink, next to the stove, but since this is such a large space, I decided to go for a large rug. And so now we are in the second dining room of the house. I was thinking that this could be more like a kids' dining table when they have guests over, but this is also just like a smaller area for like the family to eat at if they don't want to eat on the island. I cannot pronounce that. So here are just the pet bowls for the pets. Like I said, a cat and a dog. And didn't want to add another picture into my, well, might as well add a window. And so now we are just going to be adding some pictures. Again, I was like, what am I supposed to do with all this counter space I just added? So I added some of those floor to ceiling shelving, and now we're just going to be adding a little atrium. I think that's what it's called. And so since this is such a big kitchen, I decided to add some aprons into the kitchen and make sure they all match so it doesn't look all weird. I mean, I know like personality, like, oh yeah, this is definitely my apron, but I thought it looked nice to have them all matching. And so now we are just going to be adding those backpacks into the into this little corner of the house. And so we are just going to be adding those and be going into the game room garage area. So I usually think of these posters as like movie posters, but since this is a game room, I'm using them as game posters. Maybe they're like Uncharted, where they like were a game and now they're a movie. And so now we are just going to be adding this big old comfy couch. It looks comfy to me, like a nice leather couch, very durable since this is in the garage. And so I'm just trying to like add some like comfort to it, since I want to add this rug, and all of these items are from the industrial loft kit except for the TV that is, I think, a projector from the Get Famous pack. And so we are just going to be adding the like game boxes, like the Xbox or the Wii. I don't know exactly what they're like called in The Sims, but we are just going to also be adding a little painting area because this area also ended up being way too big than I thought. And so I have a little painting area, but I do also want to make sure I have like this like arcade thing. I kind of want to out in this room, I feel like, and I thought it would be like really fun. So it's not just games, there's also like art and woodwork your Sims can do in this area of the house. And I guess I just replaced the woodworking table for Don't Wake the Llama. But I do also think of these music, or this poster from Get Together, as like a music poster, but I feel like it's like volume 1 and volume 2 in the game room of a game. So now we are just going to be starting off in the first teenagers room, and so I wanted them to be like opposites in color and like in like socialization. One's more introverted, one's more extroverted. I was mentioning the yellow room would be for the extrovert and the darker room would be for the introvert. I don't think introvert people are dark at all. I'm an introvert and I find myself a very sunshiny yellow person, but just to help with the opposites, I wanted one to be one or the other. And so this room has the dog bed in it because dogs are more friendly and sociable than cats, and so that was perfect for the introvert or the extroverts room. And so I do have like little like a dog mat on the door to the balcony. And I do also add a guitar into this room because it's more easier to transfer and around the town. And so I wanted that to also reflect on of the extroverts, like extrovertedness. And so that wasn't a real word. And so now we are just going to be working on the bathroom real quick before we go into the other teens room, the second teens room, the introverts teens room. And so this is the only bathroom I am showing just because it just worked out that way. The other bathroom's pretty much the same. It does have a walk-in closet, and then there's a half bath on the main level of the house. And so we are just going to be adding these mirrors, and it's a pretty simple bathroom. I did also again go with like a opposites with the yellow and black bathrobes, which I thought would be kind of fun. Sims are just like cartoon characters where they just wear the same clothes every day. I do also remember when I started to play The Sims, I had my Sims color coded, like, oh, you have a purple t-shirt, I'm gonna put you in the purple bed with the purple wallpaper. And so now we are in the darker introvert's room. And so we have a litter box in this room. One, because I forgot to add it into the bathroom. Two, because this room is large. All of this house is very large. And so I have a little cat bed at the end of the Sims bed. But that does actually get moved over by the keyboard because I wanted there to be some closet space in this room, since there's closet space in the other two rooms. And so we are just going to be having to move some things around. I did want it to be very similar, like the Sims have like equal amount of clothes, and so we are just going to be adding some shoes on to the dresser. So they're opposite in their shoe choice as well. The introvert has more sneakers, and then the extrovert has more kind of dress up shoes like high heels. And so I feel like this sim would also be more into like the game room. I have a lot of gaming posters in the introvert's room, and so now we are working on this office space. This is kind of more of an empty room. If you want, you can make this into like another bedroom. But I decided to make it into an office, and so if you want to add anything to it, there's plenty of space. It's very empty, and I wasn't really sure what to add into this space, and so now we are just going back onto the back of the house, going to be adding this balcony that the teenagers share together. And I do go back later on to add a bonsai tree, but right now we are just going to be figuring out this bookshelf reading area. I wasn't exactly sure what to make in this space, but luckily I took a break and I came back with a book nook area. So this is like in between of the office and the kids or the teens bathroom. And now we are just going to be adding a little rug because all of the flooring in this house is either tile or hardwood. I know that doesn't really matter that much in The Sims, but I know it's want to be like a little cozy space to read a book, and so a rug was like the best choice. And so now we are just going to be adding a little table and some pictures on the wall, and going into the primary bedroom of the house. So this bedroom does have a large balcony off of the side, and so we are just going to be using the bed and side tables from the Dream Home Decorator pack. I wasn't sure exactly like how much to add, just because this is such a big room, and all you really need in a Sims master bedroom is a dresser and a bed. But since the space is so big, I'm like, should I add more? Should I add even more? And then I end up just having a little dresser and then this mirror. And so we are just going to be trying to figure out a mirror to be adding over this dresser, but I realize that's like a lot of mirrors in one space. And so we're just going back into the yellow bedroom because I just found something to add in to that bedroom. And now we are just going to be going outside into the balcony. So I have 2 yoga mats, so the couple that lives in this house can do yoga together on their balcony. And so I wanted to just do this because I thought it was fun, and I honestly wasn't sure what else to add to this house because it's so large and I feel like I had everything. But I do end up adding a little like art painting thing in the parents' balcony area, and so now we're just going to be adding a rug to kind of soften it up since it is so much hardwood, and I do end up making it into a blue color to kind of go with the walls and with the furniture downstairs. So we are getting close to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed watching. If you want to play in it, the information will be down in the description, and I post new videos every single Tuesday, so I hope you enjoyed watching. If you have any suggestions, please leave a comment down below. I'm planning on doing apartments next month, and I hope to see you all next week for another Sims 4 video. Bye!